What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel and some more Blood and Plunder coverage. We're getting closer to wrapping up the Spanish, so we're now on to the two lists that are going off of the special characters here. And the first one here is a very short and simple one, Los Cosarios De Pardal, so Pardal's specific force here. So this is the personal force of Marineros de Pardal, who must be chosen as the commander, naturally. I mean, why would you want to take somebody else in his list, right? So once per game, during Pardal's unit's activation, he may spend a command point to issue a challenge to one enemy unit, so just a whole unit, actually. Pardal's unit receives a -1 bonus to any resolve test triggered by the challenged unit for the rest of the game. So pretty nice, especially if you can get that set up fairly early on a relevant unit. If Pardal's unit destroys the enemy unit, they gain a strike point, which is huge. So of course we reviewed all the scenarios and looked at how strike points are accumulated and things like that. So just the fact that this is another way of essentially forcing another strike point onto an enemy is huge if you can achieve that. However, it's a bit of a double-edged sword, so if things aren't going your way and Pardal's unit is destroyed by the challenged unit, Pardal's force gains a strike point in return. So that being said, if by some measure, if they happen to wipe each other out somehow, I guess both sides would get the strike point. So that'd be kind of nasty too. This force also very aggressive here. So +3 to its roll to determine the attacker in a scenario. So I think that's the highest bonus. Or not too many, but a couple forces do have that much of a bonus. Now the list itself, pretty simple now. Command options, we're just going to get that out of the way real quick. If you're playing the army scale, then any guardacostas or Corsair commander must lead non-allied companies in this force. And then, of course, the allied factions, guardacostas and Spanish militia. Makes sense. Now, units in this particular force of Pardal's, very simple. So we have seemingly very close combat focused with the Marineros and the Marineros Piqueros. We'll come back to those in just a moment. But then your main sort of range shooting is going to be in the form of the Milicianos. But again, they all have some upgrade flexibility there too. So not the most elite of units in that sense as far as their level of experience, and we'll take a look at that in just a moment. But again, just pretty nasty seeming in the close combat department and short range shooting with the various pistols available and all that. But between the pikemen, the sailors just being fantastic in a melee, and then Milicianos doing enough work. Certainly an interesting and potent force, especially then when using Pardal's skills as well. So he is certainly no slouch. So if we skip ahead a little bit here, guys, getting over to what we have available here. So we have our Milicianos. So again, and we'll come into these in a separate video as well, more specifically. But again, starting off in experienced, matchlock muskets, standard melee weapons. So fight abilities certainly okay. Shooting, they can do some work there as well. Not the greatest at that either, though. Resolve of 6, but drilled, ruthless, and poorly equipped. Everybody in this force has access to ruthless. We can bump them up to trained for 1 point per model, certainly worth considering. And then units may exchange drilled, however, for elusive, which adds a little bit of spice to the list as well. And then finally, if you do want to, you can change out weapons here. Matchlock muskets for heavy matchlocks at no cost, so something to consider if you're looking for that extra ability that those provide. Now, the other two units, again, Marineros, so they already start off trained, pistols and standard melee weapons. Again, fight value is fantastic. Shooting, they're not the greatest at, but again, these guys are just there to jump into combat and do some work for you. Ruthless, artillery crew, poorly equipped, and sailors. 1 and 3 can be upgraded to vets. Shy unit may be upgraded to vets for 1 point. I was reading that wrong. 1 and 3 may exchange pistols for blunderbusses, so again, you have some weapon options there. We can also potentially add either fire pots or grenados. And then finally, unit may exchange pistols for firelock muskets for 4 points total. So if you want to do a little switcheroo, at least with one of the units, you could gain some extra long-range shooting there. But for the points cost, you got to factor in, their less than stellar shoot value. So something to consider, though. Not everybody's going to be expecting that as well to have a Marineros unit necessarily with the muskets. But we could also downgrade to only standard melee weapons for -1 point per model. This option may not be taken if the unit is inexperienced or veteran, although that upgrade doesn't make so much sense because they have standard melee weapons. So, oh, I see what they're saying, sorry. Just the weapons, so basically dropping the pistols and just going with the melee weapons only. Interesting option as well, but again, taking what little ranged ability you have in this list and further hurting that as well. Now, again, we can't upgrade as far as veteran goes to them, but it might be worth having, if you're pressed for points, just having a unit of those purely dedicated to close combat. Save some points there to maybe buy upgrades elsewhere or just get more models in as well. So something to consider at least. Now that we got that kind of figured out. Finally, the Marineros Piqueros. So again, using Lanceros as the model there, but start off trained as well. These bad boys have lances and standard melee weapons. Fantastic fight value, same as the Marineros. Shooting essentially non-existent, so these guys do not carry guns. That being said, they're ruthless artillery crew and sailors, and if we need to, we could also, for 1 point per model, upgrade them into veterans. So just a really nasty set of fighters here. Then we're going to go back real quick and take a look at Pardal. Again, we're going to give this bad boy a separate video, and we've also done an unboxing on him, so check that out. But again, so if we're going to run his force, right, we have to run him. So again, factor in 32 points for him. That being said, he can also lead any Spanish Caribbean militia, Guarda Costa, Spanish Corsairs, and of course his unique force, which is what we're covering. Now he, again, brings in abrasive pistols, so fantastic short range there, and standard melee weapon. Very fantastic command range, and the 3 command points, of course, and some pretty solid special rules. So again, very inspiring. Broadside, again, also relevant for dealing with ships. High standing, ruthless sailors, and well equipped. So good stuff there. So again, everybody in this force is going to be ruthless. So if you are able to time things correctly, you can certainly take advantage of that rule. So, and just in general, a fun character, badass model. And so Firelock's definitely done a great job there. So certainly something worth considering, and a force that we definitely plan on fielding at some point. So we have just about all the pieces for that, to at least do a smaller force for that and see how it does on the tabletop for you guys. But that being said, for those of you who have run Pardal, whether in his unique force or elsewhere, let us know how that's gone in the comments for you guys. What have you faced? What size game are you playing? Land, sea combination. Let us know in the comments, guys. Really love to hear from you. Hope you guys enjoyed our little look at Pardal's force here. We'll be moving on to our final one as we then move into reviews on Spanish special characters and units more specifically. So hope you guys enjoyed. Again, hit us up in the comments. Like and subscribe if you haven't already. Helps us continue to grow. And then we will see you in the next one, guys. Take care.